Hello guys, welcome to our math lesson. Our LA is to divide two digits by one digit, which is very similar to what we did on Monday, but this time we're actually going to look at ones which require a remainder. So our aim's to be able to divide two digits by one digit using a place value chart and a grouping method. Then our success criteria is to use my timetables knowledge to work through the division method, to be able to group together numbers in my place value to get the correct answer, and then also to recognise remainders. So as always, for our starter, we're going to have some fluency questions on the left hand side, and then some reasoning and problem solving, and I want you to use the comparing, so our greater than, or less than, greater than, and equal to. So use it on your piece of paper, work these out. For our fluency questions, do your tens and your ones, group them together. You might need to do some exchanging, and we'll see if you get the right answers. Okay, pause. Okay, so for our first question, I can't really group them together, but in my head, I know that 96 divided by 8 is 12, and then 96 divided by 4 is 24. And then finally, our reasoning and problem solving. So 48 divided by 4 is 12, and 36 divided by 3 is also 12, so that is an equal sign. 52 divided by 4 is 13, and 42 divided by 3 is 14. So therefore, the symbol needs to go. So 13 is greater than 14. And finally, 60 divided by 3, I know that is 20, and 60 divided by 4, well, I know that is 15. So therefore, 20 is greater than 15. So let's move on to our lesson. So I know that we can now divide two digits by one digit. So now we're going to look at dividing some trickier numbers that we're not really used to, and we're going to do it with remainders. Now, our first question, we're going to set it out exactly as we did on Monday. So I'm going to split my big number, 45. I'm going to split this into tens and ones. So I know that 45, with 40 being my tens, I'm going to put 4 tens in there, and then I'm going to put 5 ones. Now, nice and simply, I'm going to group this number up into 2, because this is what this number, I'm dividing it by 2, so I'm going to group them into 2s. I've got one group here, another group, I've got 2 groups of 10, and I've got 2 groups. But then I have got 1 left over. Now, this number, we could, if we were looking really, really technical, we could actually move this number into 10 tenths, but we're not going to do that today. We're just going to leave this as a remainder. So we cannot split this number up into 2, because there is only one left. 1 is less than 2. So we must leave it like that. So we have got 2 tens, 2 ones, and then we've got 1 remainder. And we write that as remainder 1. So my answer, 2 tens add 2 tens, will be 22, remainder 1. Because I know that 1 is less than 2, so we cannot have a remainder more than 2. It has to be less than this number. So it's got less than 2. 22, remainder 1. Let's about the next one. So 38 divided by 3. So just like last time, I'm going to split this number up into my tens and my ones. So I've got my 30 and my 3 tens. Can you see how I'm lining these up? And I know that I'm dividing this by 3, so I'm putting these in rows of 3. And then I'm putting my 8 ones in there. Next, I'm going to group up my 3s. So can I match my 3s? So I know I've got one group here, so that's my 110, and I've got 2 groups, but then I've got 2 here. Now I cannot get a group of 3, can I? So I must have these left as a remainder. So now I add up my groups, so I've got one group of 3 in my tens, and I've got 2 full groups, because I've got 3 in there, 3 in there, and I've got my remainder 2. So I would represent that as a remainder 2. So my final answer, 12, remainder 2. Okay, so this next one, I want you guys to have a go at. So we've got 47 divided by 4. So I'm going to show you it represented, and then on a piece of paper I want you to redraw this and circle the groups of 4 and see if we can get the same answer. And remember, there might be a remainder. So I've got 47, so I've got 4 10s, and I've got 7 1s. So draw this out, circle them, and see what our answer is, and we can see if you get the same as me. Okay, pause. Okay, so can you see I have put my in my representations in a. Okay, so you can see that I have put my 10s and I put them in rows of 4 because I am dividing by 4. So I've got one group here, I've got another group of 1s here, my group of 4, but then I've only got 3 here. I cannot be circling this because there's only 3. It's not a 4, it's only 3. So my answer must be I've got one full group of 4 here. In my 10s, I've got another group in my 1s, and then I've got 3 remainder. So I would represent that as a remainder 3, just like so. Well done if you did get that one right. Okay, so next, we're going to move on to seeing if we can exchange over. So I've got the number 13. Remember what we did from last time? So I've got my 110 and my 3 1s. So now I need to divide this by 4, but I have got a group of 4, but they cross over. Remember, we cannot be crossing over our 10s and 1s in this. So I've got 110 and 3 1s, but I need to circle these into a group of 4. So I must exchange my 10 into 10 1s, just like so. Can you see how I've done them in rows of 4, so it makes things nice and easy when I do this next method. Now I'm going to group them up into 4s. So I've got one group, 2 groups, 3 groups. So I've got 3, but then I've still got 1 remainder over here. So I put a remainder 1. So 13 divided by 4, I know, is 3, remainder 1. Right, guys, so this one, I want this one to have. Right, guys, so now I want you guys to have a go at this one. So I'm not going to even show you what this is represented. I want you guys to draw a place value with your 10s and 1s. Show me the number 15 represented. And then you might need to exchange the 10 over. And then you might even end up with a remainder. So I'm going to ask you to pause it in a moment. See if you can get the right answer. And then I'll go through it to check. Okay, guys, pause. Okay, so 15, I know that 15 represented is 110 and 5 1s. Can you see how I've represented this? Because I'm divided by 4, I've put these in rows of 4 already nice and easily. So I've got one group of 4 here, but then I'm left with 11, and I know that 11 is more than 4, so it doesn't work like that. I need to exchange from the 10s, and I need to put in 10 1s. Next, so I've got my groups of 4 already. I can see I've got 1, 2, 3 groups. So I know that. And then here I have got 3 1s left over here. 3 is less than 4, so therefore I must have a remainder. If I had 4 over here, I would not need a remainder because I've got another group of 4. So the maximum remainder that I can have for this number is 3. So I've got 3 full groups here, and then remainder 3. Just like so. 3 remainder 3. 15 divided by 4 is that. And then finally, again, I'm not going to show you what this is represented. I want you to represent it yourselves. Exchange over if you need to, and then if you've got a remainder, show me either a remainder and whatever it is, okay? So guys, in a moment I'm going to ask you to pause it, see if you can get the right answer, and then we'll go through it. Pause. Okay, so I've got 51. So I've got 5 10s and 1 1. Let's see, 5 10s, again, because I'm dividing this number by 4, I must have rows of 4, just makes my life that much easier, and I've got 1 1. So I know I've already got one group of 4 here, but I've still got 1 10 left over. So I need to exchange my 10 over and put 10 ones. And then now I can group together my groups of 4 to see what the answer is. So I've got one group of 10 over here, one group of 4, sorry, over here, another group of 4s over here in my ones, and then finally I have got another group of 4 over here in my ones. So I've got 1 10, and then I've got 2 10s, 2 complete groups of 4, but then I've still got this remainder over here. So I would represent this as remainder 3. So my answer is 12 remainder 3. I hope that makes sense, guys. So again, there's only going to be one worksheet today. So can you write down the question, just like you did on Monday, and then next or underneath, draw a place value chart with your 10s and 1s, draw your numbers in counters, and then circle in your group. So remember, if you can't circle your group, then you might need to exchange a 10 to 10 ones, and then remember, show you're working out. Remember, there might be some remainders in there. So remember to represent that as a remainder of whatever it is. Guys, I'm going to show you on my iPad exactly how I want you to set it out, because some of you did it brilliantly, but others just need a little bit of work just so that we're all clear and you can get going. So, on my iPad, I've got 52 divided by 5. So again, straight away I'm going to represent my 5 10s. I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all being 10s. Next, I've got 2 1s. So I'm looking for my groups of 5. Well, my 10s, they are already a group of 5 over here, so I can just straight away circle that. And then my 1s, well, I've only got 2 1s there. 2 is less than 5, so at my final answer, I've got 1 10, and then remainder 2. So how would I write that? Well, this is a 1 10, so I'm going to write 10 remainder 2. Remember, this isn't just 1 remainder 2, because there is one group of 5, but as this is in the 10s, it is 10 remainder 2. So I want you to set it out just like that. Remember, sometimes you might need to exchange over, but remember your remainders, and yes. So guys, I'm excited to see all your work. I hope that you enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next one.